Hi, I'm Mark Gorman. A farmer and his wife put out an ad saying that they needed to hire a farmhand. A young man applied for the job, and as they were interviewing him, the farmer asked him a question. He said, "What makes you feel that you are the right man for the job?" And the young man simply said, "I can sleep when the wind blows." Well, the farmer really didn't know what the young man meant by that, but he thought he looked like a pretty nice guy, so he went ahead and hired him, and they were happy with this guy. I mean, he seemed like he was doing a very good job, but a few weeks after they had hired him, one night the farmer and his wife were awakened by a terrible storm. I mean, it was just horrendous, the sound of the wind blowing and the rain and the sleet coming down, and they could just imagine what could happen, because that's a farmer's worst nightmare, because all of their business is in the outdoors, you know. So they rushed out to see what needed to be done to take care of everything. And when they ran outside, they noticed that all of the animals were safely in the barn, and the barn doors were closed. The tractor and all of the other equipment had been pulled under sheds so that it was protected from the elements. And then they suddenly realized what that young boy meant when he said, "I can sleep when the wind blows." Very simply, what he meant was that I do what needs to be done so that if things go wrong, I'm ready. And I can relax because of that. In fact, people who know me will tell you that one of my favorite sayings, in fact, people who work for me will tell you that I say it a lot, and that is, plan for the worst and hope for the best. You see, if we live our lives only expecting everything to go well, life teaches us that it won't always happen that way. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to live your life in constant fear, but what I am saying is you need to be ready for worst-case scenarios. Let me give you an example. See, 2001, the term 9/11 took on a whole new meaning for America. Now, prior to that, for many years on our telephones, all the phone companies had a common emergency code that we could dial, 911. Well, now that 911 really means even more to us as Americans, because on September 11th, 2001, I remember I saw as it took place when terrorists attacked our country and innocent civilians lost their lives by the thousands. And America hasn't been the same since. We now, even boarding airplanes, everything we do is different because those terrorists changed our level of preparedness by which we live. But I want you to imagine something, because I remember on 9/11 when our president came on the television to speak to the nation and to let people know that although we had been attacked, we weren't defeated, and that we were going to pursue those people who had taken the lives of our brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers on our soil. But imagine what it would have been like if on that day, on 9/11, what if our president had stood there and said, "We've been attacked. We're going to need an army and a navy. We're going to need ships. We're going to need an Air Force. We're going to need airplanes, bombs. We're going to need guns. We're going to need ammunition. We're going to need Marines. We're going to need to start training people. If you want to serve in one of these branches of our military, you need to call the White House. We'll figure out how to route your calls, and we need to start some kind of training, and we need to start getting ready so we can retaliate. How would that have felt? Instead, we were ready. We were ready that day. Why? Because on September 10th, on September 9th, on September 8th, and for years prior, even though some people said we didn't need a military, I'm glad that we were training people. And there were those who said, this is wasted money. Why are you training people? Why are you building these airplanes and these ships? Why are you building these submarines? And why are you building these missiles? Well, why do we have all this? But you see, we didn't wait until everything went wrong to take action. We planned for the worst, and then we hoped for the best. And for quite some time, we had peace on American soil. But when the worst happened, we were ready. Now, what does that have to do with you and me? Well, the fact is, and in fact, one of my friends, I remember that his signature on his emails a few years ago was so poignant. It said, the best time to plant an oak tree would have been 20 years ago. The second best time is today. You see, being ready, being prepared allows you to sleep when the wind blows. You don't have to panic. You don't have to just run crazy because you've already taken the steps necessary to prepare. Now let me ask you this. What do you do when the wind blows in your life? Are you prepared? Simple things. You know, and I grew up in New Orleans where we had hurricane warnings for many years before Katrina ever hit. I mean, we knew you always have batteries, you always have flashlights, you always have candles. You keep all of your family photos in a plastic bin. You don't ever put them, just all of them out in frames. You have the negatives and a lot of the photos in plastic bins. Why? Because every time there's a hurricane warning, you're ready. When the wind blows, you're ready. You put everything in the back of the SUV and you head out of town. You get out of here. Are you ready? In your life, are you ready? A man by the name of Croft Pence said it this way. He said, the best reason for doing the right thing today is tomorrow. So, I want you to think, ask yourself the question, what would I do if the wind started blowing in my life? Do you have money saved? Or do you only think of saving money when everything goes wrong and you wish you would have? Because by then it's too late. See, today you and I need to start doing what we need to do to plan for the worst with our health, with our finances, with our jobs, careers, whatever it may be, with your family. Plan for the worst and then hope for the best. Live a positive life. Live a life filled with laughter and friends and family and belief and faith and confidence and courage. But the reason you can have the courage, the reason you can sleep when the wind blows is because before the wind started blowing, you did the right thing. Not just that day, but every day. So live every day preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. And you can sleep when the wind blows.